So let's go to the discussion.
Yes, Sensei.
Last
We're going to
week,
discuss the last benefit, no, Sensei?
yes, yes, the last of the 10 benefits in this life for a person who has faith in Amida Buddha.
Yes.
Which is the benefit of entering the stage of the truly settled, or the stage of non-retrogression.
So the benefit of non-retrogression, for those of you who have the book there, who may be studying along with me, watching the video, is page 198 in the book, The Meaning of Faith and Nembutsu. So if you go there, this Joshu Sensei has many passages here, because this stage has many names, okay? So Joshu Sensei says here, by receiving faith or Shinjin and saying the name of Amida Buddha, we enter in this life in the stage of the truly settled for birth in the Pure Land, where we will actually be reborn after death, and we will immediately attain Buddhahood or Nirvana. This is also called the stage of non-retrogression, the stage of definite assurance, the group of the rightly established stage, the stage equal to perfect enlightenment, the stage equal with Maitreya, etc. So you see, it has many names, but all of these names are referring to the same stage, yes, in which Amida Buddha, through the power of Amida Buddha, no matter what happens to us, we will go to the Pure Land, yes, because we have simple faith that Amida Buddha will keep his promise, okay? So if we just entrust ourselves to him in this very life, we are assured of going to the Pure Land, yes. I will read a couple of passages. There are so many passages here. I will try to read the most important ones. I think, for instance, here the Jodo Shinshu Master Shinran says, when we ordinary people filled with evil passions, the multitudes defiled by karmic evil and subject to birth and death, attain the faith and practice transferred by Amida for our going forth, we will immediately join the Mahayana group of the rightly established stage. Because we dwell in the rightly established stage, we unfailingly reach nirvana, you see? So being in this established stage means that your destiny or your future is secure in Amida Buddha's hands, okay? So it doesn't matter what happens to you, no evil spirits, no false gurus, nothing can hinder it, not even your own evil, your own stupidity can hinder the work of salvation of Amida Buddha. Amida Buddha will take you to his Pure Land, no? Is the light that grasps us, never to abandon us, you know? Whereas other Pure Land schools also want to go to the Pure Land, they are still unsure if they will be born there. That's why at the end of life, for example, those who practice according to the 19th vow, they do many meditation practices like Powa, for instance, in the Chinese Pure Land school, they do retreats of Nianfo. You have to focus your mind. In our case, we are absolutely sure that Amida Buddha will take us to the Pure Land in this life. You see? So this is very important.
Will take us to the Pure Land in the next life.
In the next life, of course.
Yes.
I'm sorry, in this life we wait for Amida Buddha, but of course in this life we have the assurance of going there, you see?
Yes.
And this is precisely why, now that you mentioned this, why many Jodo Shinshu, false Jodo Shinshu scholars, when they see this word in this life, they get excited. They say, oh yeah, this is some kind of enlightenment here and now, or some kind of Shinjin's enlightenment, and you are here. No, it's only that you are sure, as Renio said, that you will attain enlightenment in Amida Buddha's Pure Land after you abandon this body, because this is what it is stated even by Shakyamuni Buddha himself in many sutras, and especially in the larger sutra, he stated many times that birth in the Pure Land happens after death. And actually, Joshu Sensei has a very good collection of passages, many passages from the sutras and the masters that clearly state that all the Mahayana masters believed that birth in the Pure Land occurs after death, not some kind of thing that you attain in this life, no, or state of consciousness. No?
And yes, and it's logical to be like this, because once you go to the Pure Land, you attain perfect enlightenment and you obtain the infinite qualities of a Buddha. And it's if we just look at ourselves, we realize we are not Buddhas, you know, because we can't, we are not enlightened. We can't teach the Dharma like Shakyamuni. We can't manifest various accommodated bodies in all places of the universe. We can't know the thoughts of others. We can't know the previous lives of our previous lives and previous lives of all beings. We can't see anything in the infinite distance. We can't hear anything. So those qualities of beings born in the Pure Land are well explained in the larger sutra by Amida Buddha himself in some of his vows. In some of his vows, Amida Buddha promises what kind of qualities, enlightened qualities, we will have when we go to the Pure Land. And Shakyamuni Buddha presented those vows, and he also presented in other passages, himself presented the qualities of the Pure Land and the qualities of those born in the Pure Land. So it's very clear this world of suffering is not the Pure Land, and we are not the beings in the Pure Land. It's very simple. It's logical, you know.
It's logical, and of course, this was stated by Shakyamuni Buddha himself and all of the masters. So if you say something different, it's like you are creating your own philosophy or religion. No, it doesn't have anything to do with the Dharma. Thank you, Sensei. Yes, indeed. This is very clear. So I encourage you to read those passages because they are very clear. And when you read them, it will be crystal clear that what Shakyamuni Buddha meant is that Amida Buddha will receive you after you abandon this body of karmic
those
cause and
passages
effect.
are divided in three. So there you will see passages mentioning that birth in the Pure Land takes place after that. There will also be passages where you will read there will also be another category of passages which mention that birth in the Pure Land is after that, and it means the attainment of enlightenment. And there you can also see passages which refer to the enlightened qualities that you will have in the Pure Land. So you can't be confused if you stick with the Dharma, with the Dharma text.
With the Dharma texts are very clear. And actually, I wanted also to mention that, especially in Jodo Shinshu, it's as a phenomenon in Jodo Shinshu that people stress Shinjin without actually stressing the wish to be born in the Pure Land. You see, wishing to be born in the Pure Land is of paramount importance because this is the essence of our school, is to be born in an actual place with a real living Buddha. If you don't have this desire and you think that Shinjin is some kind of calm or peace or some kind of non-duality stuff, then you are actually combining Dharma doors, and actually you are outside of Jodo Shinshu, and even outside of the Buddha Dharma itself, you know, because Buddhas do have Pure Lands.
And the wish to go to the Pure Land is part of Shinjin.
It's part of Shinjin,
yes. It's an element of Shinjin.
Yes.
Just like acknowledging the existence of Amida Buddha and the Pure Land, wishing to go to the Pure Land, saying the name in faith. That's saying the name and wish to go to the Pure Land is part of the same mind of faith. You can't have faith and don't wish to be with Amida in his Pure Land. It's impossible.
Yes, I think we are very explaining in this video the eight elements of faith. Yes, so I encourage you to...
So now we continue with this stage of non-retrogression.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so there is another passage here by Master Shinran. He says, when one realizes true and real Shinjin, one is immediately grasped and held within the heart of the Buddha of unhindered light, Amida Buddha, never to be abandoned. To grasp, seshu in Sino-Japanese, means to take in setsu, and to receive and hold shu. When we are grasped by Amida, immediately, without a moment or a day elapsing, we ascend to and become established in the stage of the truly settled. Non-retrogression is the stage at which a person becomes settled as one who will necessarily attain Buddhahood. Okay, so all of these passages are actually stating that since it is Amida Buddha, who saves us, from the very first moment that you entrust yourself to him, you are assured of birth in the Pure Land, yes, and you have no more doubts, yes, and your destiny or your karmic destiny is already in Amida Buddha's hands. Okay, so it doesn't matter what happens to you, you will become a Buddha there. I have another passage here from the Tanisho. It said, by virtue of being shown upon by Amida's light, we received diamond-like Shinjin, when the one thought moment of entrusting arises within us, hence, already in that instant, Amida takes us into the stage of the truly settled. And when our lives end, all our blind passions and obstructions of evil being transformed, we are brought to realize insight into the non-origination of all existence. Yes, this requires some explanation. In this stage of the truly settled, so this is another point that it happens after that, because here Shinran clearly states when our lives end, yes, and then after that, of our evil is transformed by the power of the Sambhogakaya of Amida Buddha, and we realize the insight into the non-origination of all existence. In other words, we actually become the Dharmakaya. Yes, okay, because to truly understand the non-origination of all existence, or of the unity and transcendence of all phenomena, or the cosmic body of the Buddhas, you have to become the Dharmakaya. It's not some kind of intellectual understanding, okay? This is what many people fail to understand. Yes, if you truly want to understand the Dharmakaya, you have to become the Dharmakaya itself. You have to become a Buddha, you see? So the only way to become a Buddha for us ordinary beings is to go to Amida Buddha's Pure Land. Yes, I'm influenced by the power of Amida Buddha. It's like ice melting into water, you see? So Buddha nature is already in us, but we don't recognize it. But through the power of Amida Buddha destroys our ignorance, and then we will realize this insight, okay, of the true meaning of Buddha nature and emptiness, okay? So after that, Joshua Sensei points that no matter how wonderful and profound the sutras and teachings of various Dharma gates, only the Dharma gate of faith in Amida provides quick attainment of Buddhahood to all sentient beings, you see? So this is very important. You know, Buddhahood, as Joshua Sensei mentioned, encompasses infinite Buddhic qualities, infinite clairvoyance, seeing all your past lives, having the Trikaya, having perfect wisdom, perfect compassion, the 6 paramitas, incredible capacities, you see? But in order for ordinary beings to practice such a difficult path, it would be impossible, you see? So even if the teaching itself is perfect, you know, if an ordinary sentient being tries to practice such a lofty teaching, these beings, he or she, will fail, because the teaching is not in accordance with the capacity of the beings. But Buddhas, in their infinite mercy and compassion, they have many different Dharma methods. And the path of the primal vow is the only path that can take all beings to enlightenment on the basis of equality. This is why it is considered to be the highest teaching of the Mahayana, not because the other teachings don't take you to enlightenment. They certainly do. Yes, I don't know, Vajrayana, all the Mahayana doors, you know, meditation, all of that is marvelous. However, this is only for a elite, for a very small minority of sentient beings who are able to engage in those difficult practices. Okay, so also among the Pure Lands of all Buddhas, only the Pure Land of Amida Buddha has not special requirements. For instance, there are also other Pure Lands like the Pure Land of Padmasambhava, Sandolpalri, Avirati of Aksobhaya. We have the Pure Land of Tara. You have the Pure Land of Ratnasambhava, many other Buddhas, you see? And all of these Pure Lands, if you read their sacred texts, or the Medicine Master Buddha's Pure Land, you read that all those beings who are born there, they are already holy beings, already saints. At the very least, they are arahats. Yes, arahats, there are great bodhisattvas, great practitioners. You don't see ordinary beings being born there. The only Pure Land that accepts good and evil, and also very foolish, you know, and low capacity beings like us, is Amida Buddha's Pure Land. Yes, and on top of that, not only is the only one that accepts ordinary beings, but it's also the best Pure Land there is, because in the center of the Pure Land, something truly wondrous happens. Yes, we actually don't have to study in the center of the Pure Land. We actually become Buddhas from the first moment we arrive there, you see, by the virtue of Amida Buddha's great vows. Yeah, this is amazing. Yes, actually, there is a beautiful passage by one Chinese master of the Vinaya school, who actually is not he's not a Pure Land master, actually, you know, but still he recognizes with astonishment, yes, this great Dharma school. He says, In the profundity of the teaching, this is Master Jung Chi-in of the Vinaya School of China. He says, in the profundity of the teaching, nothing surpasses the ultimate doctrine of the Garland Sutra or the excellent message of the Lotus Sutra. But we have never seen in those sutras the prediction of Buddhahood given to all sentient beings. It is due to the benefit of Amida's inconceivable virtue that all sentient beings receive in the present life the prediction of attaining highest perfect enlightenment. You see? So this is amazing because if you read the Garland Sutra, the Vatamsaka, the Surangama Sutra, all of these great sutras, yeah, you have many holy beings, many bodhisattvas being told by the Buddhas, yes, you will become a Buddha. But actually, if you truly read the sutras, the ordinary guy like you and me is not included. You see, you look in bewilderment, all of these great beings not doing all of this marvelous stuff, but you look at yourself, you say, how do I do this? Yes, if I am an ordinary guy, I am not included. You know, it's like a party, beautiful thing over there, but I am here in my own delusion. What can I do? Yes, but here the master actually says that the Dharma door of the Pure Land is amazing because here Amida Buddha is giving the prediction of Buddhahood to all sentient beings. Yes, to all sentient beings. So this is amazing. Yes, this is amazing because actually Amida Buddha doesn't care if you are good, doesn't care if you are evil. Yes, doesn't care. Doesn't care in the sense that he doesn't need a requirement. Of course, Amida Buddha is not in agreement with our evil in that sense, but he actually doesn't need for us to do something special to be born in the Pure Land. As long as we just entrust ourselves to him, say his name, and wish to be born in his Pure Land, this is the only Pure Land that we can go to on the basis of equality. You see? We also see other passages here. Master Shinran says, to dwell in the stage of non-retrogression is to become established in the stage of the truly settled. This is also called the attainment of the equal of perfect enlightenment. You see, it's called the equal of perfect enlightenment. You see, because these are beings who have the assurance of manifesting enlightenment in the future. Like for example, Maitreya Bodhisattva, which is actually an enlightened being manifesting now as a bodhisattva. He's an enlightened bodhisattva. This is clearly stated in the larger sutra. For example, Avalokiteshvara is not a student. He's actually a Buddha, you know, but he's manifesting himself as a bodhisattva. So remember the two different. We already talked about this in previous videos. You can go
and one more thing. Sorry, Kosho Sensei.
Yes.
If you go to the my commentary on the larger sutra, when I in the second section of the commentary on the larger sutra, please go to the footnotes and you will see a testimony from a Mahayana Sutra about the fact that Avalokiteshvara is already enlightened. He is an ancient Buddha. There you will see Shakyamuni presenting Avalokiteshvara as such. Yes, please continue, Kosho Sensei. Sorry.
Yes, Manjushri. There are so many other examples, but yes, Avalokiteshvara is very famous enlightened bodhisattva. So I am mentioning all of these not to confuse equal to perfect enlightenment. Yes, because these beings have the assurance of manifesting enlightenment in the future. Yes, in the case of Maitreya, he's now residing in Tushita heaven, in one of the heavens of the gods in Kamadhatu, and he will descend in a very distant era in the future, and he will become a Buddha here, or he actually will manifest his enlightenment as a Buddha, you see? So Buddhas have the ability to manifest their enlightenment in different ways. Sometimes as a bodhisattva, sometimes as a Buddha, sometimes as an ordinary being. However, the fact is that equal to perfect enlightenment means that we have the assurance of manifesting enlightenment in the future. The great difference between Maitreya and us is that Maitreya practiced and he accumulated merits on his own. He's a great Dharma practitioner from the past, and he became enlightened the same way that Shakyamuni Buddha became enlightened through practicing the Dharma through countless eons. You see, in our case, we'll attain enlightenment, but not through our power, but through the power of Amida Buddha. So that is the difference between Maitreya and us. So we can be called equal to Maitreya only in that sense, that we will have the assurance of becoming Buddhas in Amida Buddha's Pure Land. Okay, but that doesn't mean that we are equal to Maitreya in the sense of our personal merits. We are ordinary guys, and Maitreya is, of course, an enlightened being who is manifesting as a bodhisattva. But we are similar in the sense that Maitreya will manifest his enlightenment in the future, and so will we. You see? But the difference is that Maitreya will have to wait in line for many, many eons in the future to become a Buddha, because he will teach the Dharma here in the human world when the karmic conditions are ripe in a distant future here. In our case, if we entrust ourselves to Amida Buddha, our enlightenment will manifest just in, I don't know, how many years we have of life, maybe 50 years, even 100 years is just a snap, it's a snap of a finger, is nothing comparing the vast kalpas of this universe, the vast expanses of time. You see, so our enlightenment is actually very close at hand. See, this is something to celebrate. Okay. There are many other passages here. For instance, here Shinran Shonin says in the hymns of the Dharma ages. I'm so sorry. Persons who truly realize Shinjin, which is directed to them through Amida's vow of wisdom, receive the benefit of being grasped, never to be abandoned. Hence, they attain the stage equal to perfect enlightenment. All Buddhas feel great joy when such a person rejoices in the realization of true Shinjin, and they proclaim, "This person is our equal." Shakyamuni Buddha's words of rejoicing are found in the larger sutra. The one who sees, reveres, and attains the Dharma and greatly rejoices, that person is my excellent close companion. Thus, he teaches that the person who has attained Shinjin is equal to Buddhas. Yes, this is one of the most misunderstood passages. I have to say, it's actually a very important teaching, a very beautiful and profound teaching, but many people misunderstand this. Yes, because of course, a person who has attained Shinjin is equal to Buddhas. Yes, only in the sense that this person will manifest enlightenment. Yes, in the Pure Land, and also because it is through the power of Amida Buddha that we go to the Pure Land. Okay, so Shinjin coming from Amida Buddha is actually a manifestation of his enlightenment in us. But that doesn't mean, be careful with this, that doesn't mean that we are enlightened. It cannot be. And of course, it doesn't make any sense, you see?
It means that we will become Buddhas soon.
Exactly.
We have to be careful with the words, because we as samsaric beings cannot manifest enlightenment. Only Buddhas can manifest enlightenment, in the sense that they can pretend to attain enlightenment all over again in various universes. But we are equal to the Buddhas in the sense that we will soon join them as Buddhas.
As Buddhas.
We are future Buddhas. It's, yeah.
So we are future Buddhas because of the power of Amida Buddha. And this is actually why other Buddhas praise our decision, praise this working of Amida Buddha in us. They are not praising our egos. They are not praising us, our personality.
They are praising our faith.
Faith in Amida Buddha.
Our faith.
Yes. And of course, as Joshua Sensei's points here, Shakyamuni Buddha is praising those who have faith in Amida Buddha and those who listen to this Dharma of Amida Dharma. And he says, our close companions. Yes, of course, we do not dare to call ourselves on our own accord their equal or their excellent close companions, you see, because this will, of course, be arrogant, okay? These and other similar passages suggest that the Buddhas regard us in this way by themselves, out of the joy of seeing us following the path, which represents the true reason for their coming to this world. Remember that all Buddhas in the 10 directions go to various world systems, especially to teach the primal vow, because this is the teaching that has the best chances to take all beings to enlightenment, okay? Because the vast majority of sentient beings in samsara are ordinary beings who don't have a plan B, you know? They either go to Amida Buddha's Pure Land or they will sink into samsara. But of course, for those who are not ready for the primal vow, or for those who maybe we can actually attain enlightenment through other Dharma doors, they also teach other Dharma doors. Yes, or for those people who are still not ready, they teach other provisional teachings until in the future they will be ready. Okay, but actually the teaching of the primal vow is the highest teaching of the Mahayana, because it has is the best skillful means so far that has the most compassion and wisdom of them all. In that sense, if we actually are entrusting to the true reason of their coming to the various world systems, they become very happy, you know. And of course, they also become happy because they know that this method not only is effective, but it's also really, really fast, you know. And they know that once we attain enlightenment, and this enlightenment is very, very close, you know, it won't take eons. Like, for example, you read in the sutras that many people practice the paramitas for many kalpas, you know, so they will join the rank of the Buddhas, who knows when, you know, in a very distant future. Yes, in our case, it will be very soon, you know. So Buddhas are actually are very, you know, on their own accord. They are saying, okay, this guy is ordinary, but he's entrusting himself to Amida Buddha. He has faith, and he will surely become one of us enlightened beings in the future. So they rejoice. They call us out their close companions, yes? And we will surely be their companions in compassion and wisdom in the Pure Land. So this is something to celebrate, okay? But of course, be careful, as Joshua Sensei says, we shouldn't become arrogant about this, because it is the Buddhas who do this, you know, and they do it only because of the working of Amida Buddha in us through faith, okay? The Buddhas in the 10 quarters rejoice in the settling of this mind of faith and praise it as being equal to the hearts and minds of all Buddhas. Thus, the person of true Shinjin is said to be equal to Buddhas. He is also regarded as being the same as Maitreya, who is in the rank of succession to Buddhahood. Yes, so being in equal to the hearts and minds of the Buddhas means that is to be to fulfill the wish of the hearts and the intention of their minds. Equal to the hearts and minds of Buddhas doesn't mean that we are Buddhas here and now, of course. It means that we are following the reason for them to come to the various world systems to teach the Dharma. So when they go to the various world systems, they teach primarily the primal vow, because it's the teaching that has the most chances to save everybody. Okay, so if we are actually doing what they want us to do, like it is stated in the Amida Kyo, for instance, that many Buddhas, and Shakyamuni Buddha gave many various names or in the 10 directions of these all Buddhas praising the name of Amida Buddha. And it's also a way to praise the primal vow, you know. So all of these Buddhas, what they want us to do is to entrust ourselves to Amida Buddha, to say his name, and to wish to go to the Pure Land. So if we do that, we're actually honoring the deepest wish of all Buddhas, which is for us to attain enlightenment as soon as possible. If we follow other Dharma teachings, that is also okay. But actually, those Dharma teachings are actually not direct methods to enlightenment, but they take many eons. Yes, sometimes these other Dharma methods could be also very risky for the vast majority of us. Other Dharma methods take a long time, you see. So the Buddhas, basically, they want these things. They want for us, all of us, to become Buddhas as soon as possible, yes, and on the basis of equality. And the only teaching that fulfills this requirement is actually the primal vow. So if we follow the primal vow, as we have stated, I think in a previous discussion, we are actually the true disciples of Shakyamuni Buddha and all Buddhas. And by doing that, this is why we are equal to the hearts and minds of all Buddhas. So we should be very careful to interpret this, because many modernists, when they see this, they say equal to the hearts and minds of all Buddhas. They say, aha, so Shinjin is like some kind of non-duality. I mean, you are a Buddha in this here and now, and the Pure Land, and all of these spiritual BS. Yes, but of course, if you truly understand what Shinran meant here, you will see that he's not referring to some here and now stuff. He's referring to being equal to the intentions and the minds of all Buddhas, yes, according to the 17th vow, in which all Buddhas promise to promote Amida Buddha's primal vow and his name all over the universe. Okay, so so what is the main intention to come into this world, says Joshua Sensei? What is the main intention of Buddhas? Is to help us walk the easiest path to Buddhahood, which is faith in Amida and birth in his Pure Land. Seeing that we entrust ourselves to Amida, the Buddhas look to us as their future colleagues in perfect enlightenment, and they work to save all beings. This is marvelous, you know. They see us as future colleagues, you know. It's like you plant a seed on the ground, yes, in a very fertile soil. So even if it's still a little bush, it will soon become a tree. So they are still they are very considering us future trees of enlightenment. Okay, so this is why they are so happy, because they know for a fact that if we have faith in Amida Buddha, we will soon join them in their life, no, in their life or saving others. Okay. Shinran Shonin also has a beautiful passage here in his letters. He says, since those who have realized Shinjin necessarily abide in the stage of the truly settled, they are in the stage equal to the perfect enlightenment. In the larger sutra of immeasurable life, those who have been grasped, never to be abandoned, are said to be in the stage of the truly settled. And in the Sutra of the Tathagata of immeasurable life, they are said to have attained the stage equal to perfect enlightenment. Although they differ, the terms truly settled and equal to enlightenment have the same meaning and indicate the same stage. Equal to the perfect enlightenment is the same stage as that of Maitreya, who is in the rank of succession to Buddhahood. Since persons of Shinjin will definitely attain the supreme enlightenment, they are said to be the same as Maitreya. Yes? So because Maitreya is sure to become a Buddha, he is already regarded as a future Buddha. Yes? As we had explained, he will actually manifest his enlightenment in the future. In our case, we will actually become Buddhas, no? For the very first time. So of course, there is a difference between Maitreya and the followers who have faith in Amida Buddha. Maitreya actually followed the Mahayana, the Paramitas, through many eons of perfect Dharma practice, and then he became a Buddha through his own merits and wisdom. In our case, it is through the wisdom and merits of Amida Buddha, through the merits and wisdom of Shinjin, yes, of the primal vow. So there is also another difference between Maitreya and us. Maitreya has to wait billions of years in the future, yes, exactly 5.4 billion years in human years in the future, and he will descend from Tushita heaven to teach the Dharma in our human realm. But in our case, we will go to the Pure Land in no time, yes, because we only have, like most of us, 50, 20, 30 years, even 100 years is just as a blink of an eye when we compare it
Joshin
to a
will
kalpa.
have another 100 year.
Yes.
I sure hope not.
And at the end of this explanation in the book, then we see that actually Maitreya, I mean, the stage of non-retrogression that we are, or the stage equal to Maitreya, of course, we have attained this stage through the power of Amida Buddha. And of course, this is the usual analogy of traveling by foot or traveling by plane. You know, Maitreya could be said somebody who walked the peak or the mountain of enlightenment with a staff, and he did it. You know, it's like those adventurers. He didn't need the help, or he got the assistance of the Buddhas, but of course he walked the path based on his own merits and wisdom. In our case, we are completely relying on Amida Buddha, so it could be compared to flying by air, flying by plane. Okay, so so we are in this special group of the truly settled and non-retrogression. We enjoy all the other 9 benefits. Okay, so when we have a Shinjin and we have you are in this stage of non-retrogression, then the other benefits actually come. They add to it, yes, or are manifestations of Shinjin and this stage of non-retrogression, in which we are completely assured that it doesn't matter what happens to us. We will be born in Amida Buddha's Pure Land, in the center of the Pure Land, yes, not in the borderland, but in the center, where we will automatically become Buddhas by virtue of the great vows of Amida Buddha. So the 10 benefit is wonderful news that we ordinary people full of blind passions are saved just as we are. Yes, that we don't have to do, as Joseph Sensei said, this marathon. We don't have to go, I don't know, doing crazy yoga things or meditating on caves like all of the saints of old, you know, like the great masters of esoteric Buddhism. We don't have to do any of that. Just entrusting ourselves to Amida Buddha is sufficient, you see? It's the same way that we don't have to swim across the Atlantic Ocean to go to Europe or to Asia. We can just board a plane, and through the ingenuity of the engineers, yes, we can go there just by relying on the intelligence of others, not on our intelligence. So in that sense, if we just follow the instructions, the simple instructions of the primal vow, then we are assured of going to the Pure Land by the design, by the method that Amida Buddha created for us. And it is a method completely, absolutely fueled by his merits and not ours. Okay, and this is why we enter into this stage that has so many names, but it refers to the same name. And that makes us technically non-retrogressive bodhisattvas. Okay.